So I had the chance to interview a Fujifilm representative at InterBEE 2023 in Japan, and we had an interesting discussions about the GFX100 II, potential future firmware updates for the X-series cameras, as well as some potential future cameras that could happen in the future. So Fujifilm released very recently the GFX100 II, and they are still trying to promote this camera as this large format camera. Notice the word here, not medium format, but they also want to promote the large format because you have full frame. They want to really push, I think, this kind of large format vocabulary. And they are really trying to promote the video-centric features of this camera with the 8K, the 4K, as well as the ability to adapt any kind of anamorphic or Super 35 or full frame kind of different aspect ratio of the sensor. So this is something that they're really trying to push at the moment. Now, one thing that I tried to ask them more about was, okay, who is the target audience for this camera? Because it's kind of an expensive camera, mid-range, I would say, but who is it made for? And it seems like Fujifilm is really targeting creators with this, as well as people who are trying to create professional, not the extreme high-end for Hollywood movies, etc., but kind of professional-looking music videos and creators who wants to have that a little bit more depth and a little bit better image quality. So that's how they're trying to position the GFX100 II. Now, I did ask them also about firmware updates, because as we all know, the GFX100 II has video features that we all want to see in the Fujifilm X-H2S, the X-H2 maybe, or even maybe the X-T5. And those features are vector scope, waveform, parades, and we haven't seen that yet in camera in the X-H2S. And we haven't seen that yet in camera in the X series. So one of the questions that I had was basically, okay, is it something that we are going to see in the future? And while they did not give a clear answer to it, it seems like it's going to happen. So basically he told me that, okay, as you know, we update our cameras pretty frequently, so you might want to keep an eye on that, and in the future, who knows, some features may be coming. So that's definitely good news, because there is no, this is something that is very reserved for the GFX line, or no, I can't tell you anything about that. It was actually kind of a nuanced answer that tells me that, okay, he cannot directly make the announcement, but that's something that we should, I think, expect in the future. And not only for the video features, but if we could, have that also for the real ACE film simulation, then that could be also something that not only video users, but also photography users would be happy to receive as a firmware update. And the final question that I had for the interviewer was, okay, now Fujifilm has, large format, has the ability to, switch their sensor from different aspect ratio. Fujifilm is able to make 4K, 4K 60, 120, 8K. Fujifilm has the Fujinon lens maker, right? So they also make cinema lenses. When is the cinema camera coming? Because that's pretty much the next step. Once you have the APS-C line, the large format line, you expect that cinema quality to be next in line, right? And that was also an interesting answer that he gave me. He also told me, okay, it's a bit difficult to answer this, but basically at Fujifilm, they have the same way of thinking, that that would be the next steps, basically, as a product to be developed. So it might be possible that in the future, we could see potential cinema cameras made by Fujifilm. And if they are able to kind of integrate their film simulation approach to cinema cameras, that would be something that would be very interesting to see, to have cinema cameras with embedded film simulations to give already a certain look and to be able to customize within it, right? It would be something kind of interesting to experiment with. And that's pretty much it for my experience at InterBEE 2023 when it comes to the Fujifilm booth. I will leave a link in the description to that interview if you want to watch it fully. and I'll see you in the next video.